He's hiding in his little hole in there. He's scared. Come on out, little buddy.
Hey guys, it's Nathan with Bark Life. Today we're going to go into what we got with our 3rd Gen 3S GTE in a little more detail. Stay tuned. Well guys, welcome to the messier side of the garage. This is the camping kid side of the garage. So we went out, the channel's grown a ton. Up till now we've been using just a basic cell phone. Has an okay camera, but definitely has its limitations, especially when you get into action shots, road trips, things like that. We plan on trying to do some videos of our cars. Obviously we're gonna go to different race events, hoping to go to some car meets. Want to do some autocross in the MR2. We'll see how that goes, but we went and picked up something to help us with some of the action shots. We are super excited. It's not most people it's like whatever, but we got a hero, GoPro Hero. So it's the 8. We got it brand new. I looked at the 9s, I looked at the 10s, and honestly, the 10s are amazing. 9s were great, but there was a couple latency issues and a couple little different issues with how it processed colors and that sort of thing. We ended up opting for the 8. It was brand new. We were super excited to be able to pick that up. So we're excited we got that rolling. And we'll be using it to film. This will be the first episode. We got it a little while ago, but finally getting to use it, and I have a bunch of accessories coming for it. I'm a complete noob, so people are going to be like, wow, you screwed that shot up. If you would have done this in the settings. If you have pointers or you have a video about one of these, I'd love to see it because, again, first GoPro I've owned. Seems super cool, and it seems pretty point and click, but I've seen some videos that these things capture. It's incredible. Yeah, I'm sure this is not the first one we're going to buy. I'm sure we're going to get a couple of them because I want to be able to do side-by-sides and that sort of thing. Like racing, if we're doing a couple cars, it'd be cool to have perspective from each car. But yeah, so that's just a little thing we did, and I'm excited. Not little, it's a big deal. But what we're here to talk about today is actually our 3S GTE with the E153. So you ask, what is the E153? E153 is, see, I'm already tangled up. E153 is the transmission out of a turbo MR2. So our MR2 came with the standard NA 5SFE, and it's the S54 transmission. S54s are not the strongest. If you're doing any kind of like from a dig drag racing, notorious for blowing up, and I'm sure there's somebody that's going to argue this on the video, but I've heard from too many people, don't try to drag race with the E153 or with the S54 because it won't hold. Well, one of the great things is with the E153 has stronger gears, and from what I understand, 700 horsepower it'll stand up to. And realistically, with our MR2, like I said, I'm looking for between 350 and 400. So that's kind of the goal. But things change, so it's nice to have a little bit of a ceiling there. But one cool thing is it has this has the CT20, I think it's called. Also, the 3rd gen of these, it does not use, and I was actually looking for it, sensor. So it doesn't use the MAF, the big ugly thing that goes in front of the intake. Does not use that. It's matte based, which is spectacular. Honestly, a week ago I couldn't have told you that. So that's new information to me. But yeah, E153s are amazing. And then also the other benefit is it has the LSD transmission. It's LSD version as well because it's the Gen 3. One thing with having a 91 is we have to get the 3rd gen body harness, or I have to wire up the entire thing. So we have to figure that out as well. I did find one harness, but the guy wants $400 for it, and it's a tiny little harness, so I really have to justify not having to do a little bit of wiring for $400. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. But yeah, we're super excited about this motor set. And it's great that it came with the different exhaust and everything. Exhaust Yeah, we're putting this new GoPro to work. What's up? Anyways, yeah, HKS as we mentioned. Came with all the mounts. Came with axles. Got the sweet exhaust. Complete uncut harness. So, looks like, yeah, everything's there. Couple little things look like they got tape on them, that sort of thing, but not too bad. I think we might end up talking to Prime MR2 about getting the harness converted over and that sort of thing. So we're looking at doing that. But yeah, turbo looks like it's in good shape. I'm really tempted to use a aftermarket turbo, but we'll see. It's already got the exhaust, it's already got the downpipe. Tempting, but yeah. Here's our shift linkage. Little baby intercooler, might need to upgrade that. And also the this charge pipe. It's crazy. But yeah, I haven't even honestly looked in here. The gal left us all the nuts and bolts, said they're all in here. A couple little charge pipes. It's cute. There's only like a foot of charge pipe, and I think there's the cooler for, or the fan for that. And shift linkage. So yeah, to just go ahead and slam this in here. But yeah, made it the whole way here, and then it dropped its guts from the transmission on the floor. So we get to deal with that now. But or LSD, which has different axles. They're longer length, and it's the outer, I guess, that determines it, or no, the inner, sorry. Inner that determines the outers are the exact same. So inners on the LSD. So if you have a non-LSD, this portion of it's way shorter. So it's like here's where the spline's cut off. But this is definitely the turbo LSD, which is awesome. And it's the 3rd gen. The other thing I'm going to have to do is replace the hubs on mine, because the turbo hubs are different than the non-turbo hubs. So on the actual spindle or whatever, I had to remove and replace the hubs. And I'm going to put new bearings in it anyways, because it's a high mileage MR2. So you could get to put new hubs in there, and then that'll make those axles work in it. So that will be spectacular. But yeah, basically we're going to try to turn this up to about 300 horsepower at the wheels. From everything I've read, should be no problem. Any of you guys' experience with that with a 3rd gen 3S GTE, let me know. I'd love to hear more. I'm a complete novice. 2JZ, I know a lot about. I know where the limits are. I know what it takes to get them to 500-600 horsepower super reliably. And so that I'm well versed. This I'm not. I'm going off of everything I've read, and I've been reading nonstop for the last 2 months on the MR2 as soon as I considered getting one. Before we even purchased it. So I was digging and digging. I wanted to do K-swap, but the way this fell into it, it's too easy, you guys. I have to get one harness, switch out some hubs, plop this thing in there. I'm trying to get the super up and rolling before we do this, just because once I start messing with this and I get to start toying with it, the super is going to go back burner and it's going to be stuck there all summer, and I don't want that because I have a huge drive to get this done. The super wiring, when I'm not filming, I'm wiring. I'm doing stuff and trying to order parts and get things squared away. So yeah, lots and lots and lots and lots of time involved with that. But and I think we can get a solid 300 horsepower out of this with no problem. Let me know what you guys think and what your guys' experiences are, but I think that it's going to be pretty easy to squeeze that out of it. I do need to order a set of gauges. I need to get the AEM wideband. I need to get some form of electronic boost controller. I don't want to deal with going out and turning a little knob, run it again, see what it's running. I want to just be able to target, boost, go. So I'm going to be looking for one of those. And then also fuel management. It has the stock ECU. I don't know as far as what people use for aftermarket ECUs for these. I found a few that are in Japanese only, because this is a JDM motor. The 3rd gen, I believe, only came in from Japan. So yeah, that's going to be an issue finding some kind of fuel management. But I want to do something. I don't know how piggyback friendly they are. There are map sensors, so that does help. Instead of having to use AFM, you get to use map sensor. So I don't know if it's switch it out to a bigger map sensor and up your injector size. I'm not sure. And we don't even know what injectors are in here, to be honest. So we're gonna check into all that, pull it apart. But again, Supra first. I'm gonna get back to the Supra. But thank you guys for tuning in and watching along. Hopefully we're working on this here in a couple weeks. So that's the goal anyways. And we'll do some teardown videos because we're going to replace some gaskets and clean up the block and probably do a leak down and a compression test on this motor. Make sure everything's healthy before we start throwing a ton of boost at it. Maybe get a bore scope down the cylinders, that sort of thing. Make sure everything doesn't look crazy in there. But excited for this. I have a feeling we're going to use this a lot this summer. I would love to get a drone that's compatible with this, so I need to research what drones can carry this reliably. But yeah, that's where we're at. Thanks for watching, guys. And again, we're knocking on 1,000 subs already a couple of weeks in. We appreciate it, and thanks for following along. Stay tuned.
Ha ha!